Welcome back to our tutorial. Until now, we got familiar with rectangles, with circles, with ellipses, with lines, with text, and now we are going to handle the path shape. This is more complex shapes. It's more complex, and you will see that in a few seconds. But you can see that in all of our shapes until now, we used few mandatory attributes, location and radiuses and I don't know coordinates, height, width, and stuff like that. Now path is using only D for data. The reason is that we're using only D is because in this shape in path we are starting to use generators, and it's a bit complex, not that much, but be with me and I'll explain everything, um, and um, and that's it. So let's dive into it and get started. So let's go back to Atom. Sorry, let's go back to Atom, and in here I'm gonna add a new file. Okay, I'm gonna call it interpolate.js. Okay, clear, nice and clear. I'm going back to my HTML file, and I'm removing the shapes file, and now I'm using the interpolate.js file. So at the moment, our web page are using nothing. So we got a clean sheet, and now we are starting to use uh, the generators. Okay, so now let's first of all explain something. Until now, as I said, we've got um, x and y for line. We needed the x1, y1, x2, y2, and that's how the S3 knew how to to draw my lines. Right now, we are going to use a different data array, and uh, I'll explain how it's different, but let me first type it to our screen. I'm using X like that, sorry, and Y like that, comma. Let's add a few more of those placeholders. Okay, but now I'm giving the data array the values that I want. You can put whatever you would like for this experiment. Just make sure that you're using increased x because you want it to be not complex path for the moment. So let's do it like that. I don't know, 4, 10. Let's say 7, 2, 9, 3, 12, 9. In here, I would say 17, 6, and last one will be 20, 20. Okay, so we have those. How many dots? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. Okay, this is my data array. It's a bit different from what we saw earlier, but now I'm gonna create, like before, the SVG element, D3, sorry, select, and in here I'm selecting the body, like exactly like before. I'm appending the SVG. I like these double quotes. It doesn't really matter, but for some reason I like it to be like that. Appending SVG, and in here attr. I'm gonna give it height of 100% and attr for width with 100% like that. Okay, saving that, refresh. Of course, nothing is shown. In here we have the SVG. Going back, and what we are going to create right now is called a generator. Our generator will be var line like that equals D3. I'm gonna explain everything. Line like that, and I'm gonna do it, sorry, X like that, and Y like that. Okay, and now in here, what I'm asking is basically from X to use a function. The function is getting D and Y. Again, don't worry, I'm gonna explain everything. And return D dot X. Okay, and I want to do times 10, and exactly the same in here, like that, but instead of X, obviously Y, and let's say um, 20. Okay, well, that's a bit weird. I'm saving, refreshing, nothing happened so far. You see that, sorry, in here we have nothing. Okay, going back to our page, just want to make sure. Oh, sorry, I've done a mistake in here. Again, saving, refresh. Okay, nothing happened, only the SVG inside of it. Okay, but it is empty SVG. And now we are going to paint uh, the path on our SVG, and we are going to do that like that. Append path. Okay, it's the first use of path dot attr, and I'm gonna give, sorry, D. Remember, D is the only value that path is supposed to get. Okay, going back to Atom. Um, sorry, going back to Atom. So D is the only attribute that we are getting, but in here, and that's the new thing that we are using. We are going to use line that we have in here. So line like that, and line is a function that is going to get the data array. Uh, okay, so let's explain what we've done so far. Um, we created a generator that is getting data array in here. Okay, when we call line with data array goes inside this generator, and in it is represented in X by D, and D calls D.X, sorry, uh, takes the X value for in this example. Okay, so this the first item, the first point in here will be 4 times 10, and for y it will be 10 times 10, 4 and 10. Okay, the second point will be 7 times 10, 2 times 10, and that's how uh, it is generated a line. And returns to path, and path knows how to draw this path, obviously, on our web page. So I'm saving that, and we are going back to our browser, refreshing our page. Okay, so we've got here something new. We've got in SVG, we've got path. Okay, so path, look what happened in here. We've got D as attribute. We've got those weird numbers. We've got M, 40, 200, L, 70, 40, L, 90, etc., etc. So let me explain what we can see in here. So take a look. I'm gonna separate. You know what? Let's copy that to our to Atom. Okay, and I want to separate some of the lines, the items that we have in here. Okay, like that. Okay, take a look. So D got those um, numbers for attributes. The attributes, the first attribute in each path will be M. M is short for move to. Okay, move to, and then it gets X and Y values. Remember 4 and 10? 4 times 10 is 40, and 10 times 20 is 200. So the first value in my data array will be the position that I'm starting to paint my path. Okay, this is the first place that my pencil is meeting the sheet. Okay, so it goes to coordinate 40, 200, and starting to paint from there. Okay, this is for M. The next points in here are different. They all got L at the beginning, okay, and still X and Y. So M, X and Y, and then, sorry, X, comma, Y, and then L, X, comma, Y. Okay, see, 7 times 10 is 70, 2 times 20 is 40, etc., etc. Okay, so those are L is short for line 2. So from the position, the start position, uh, the path know to draw a line to this coordinate, and from basically from 40, 200 to 70, 40, and then line 2, 90, 60, and then line 2, 120, 180, and then line 2, 170, and so on. Okay, so let's go back to our page. You see the first position, well, I'm not sure exactly where it is, but because the X values are increasing, I'm guessing that the first value, the M, is in here. Okay, you remember 0, 0 is at the top left corner. So I would say 40, 200, and then 70, um, 90, sorry, 40, which is a bit upper, and so on. Okay, but you saw we didn't give any fill to this path, but it generated the fill automatically. So let's go back to Atom and let's clear this one. And what we're going to do is to play a little bit with the attributes and say fill none. Sorry, like that. I'm saving it, refreshing. It got disappeared, but the path is still here. So, like we saw before. Sorry again. Like we saw before, we know how to give shapes stroke. So let's say uh, brown, and also let's save that, refresh. Okay, now we have this uh, path of lines, straight lines, line to here, line to here, line to here, and so on. And obviously, if I'll play with the stroke width like that, I'm gonna get a little bit more stronger, like that. Okay, that's for now. So this is straight lines, but what if I want to represent those the path with curved lines? So like we saw um, um, again in here, path generates D with straight lines by default. But if I'll add in here in my generator uh, curve like that, and in here I'm going to use D3 dot curve step like that and save it, refresh. Okay, so this is not a curve, but it's a bit different, right? And if we'll take a look in the DOM, we will see that L is still in here. The only thing that got changed is the path over here. So let's go back to Atom and let's change curve to curve uh, cardinal like that. And going back to our page, refresh it, gives us a curved path line. And let's take a look inside of our DOM and we'll see that M40 200 is still here, and instead of L we have C40 200, but then it added it's adding us a few more numbers um, over here. Okay, and that's how we've got this curved path. We didn't had to do anything special. Only thing that we had to do is to change the attribute of our curve. Okay, that's it for now. I hope that I didn't got you more confused that you've started this tutorial, this part of the tutorial. Um, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to send them at the comments of this video. I'll try to answer real quick to your questions. Thank you for joining. Don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to wait for more and more parts of this tutorial. Thank you.